It's in the mid to upper 60s already, and we're going to be pretty warm today. So I think Don and I are going to pick an inside the garage project. Tomorrow, specifically in the morning, there's a chance of 60-mile-per-hour winds coming through here. And Mike said, our meteorologist, for an extended period of time. So that's sort of a bummer because I'm worried about the hawk babies. There's absolutely nothing I can do, but I'm worried about the hawk babies because I'm sure we just finished watching yesterday's video with the hawk footage at the end, and I'm absolutely certain that the babies have hatched and they're feeding them. But I'll just, you know, keep my fingers crossed they'll be okay if we actually get those strongish winds coming through here. But it's pleasant out here right now. It sort of seems like it can't make up its mind what it wants to do today, because one minute we've got bright sun and it's pretty, and the next minute we've got clouds and it looks threatening. But we're not supposed to get any rain. So I'm out in the kitchen to do a little bit of my Lego stuff. I am up to bag 3 of 6. It looks like a pretty small bag, so I've also got bag 4 ready to go. So bag 4 is done. I had a tiny mistake. I had put just the little dots here and here when I was supposed to have these ones that can hold probably curtain rods or something. But I found that mistake pretty quick and put in these rod holders and put the 2 just the dots here where they were supposed to be. So no missing pieces in bag 4, but I did have to go back and study the instructions just a bit. There's a lot of glare on the instructions when I'm doing it. It's a little hard for me to see no matter where I seem to put them. So I'm just, you know, I'm doing the best I can and keeping it fun, keeping it fun. So I finished bag 4. Bag 4 put the tree on the house, the chimney, the stone looking chimney, and made it look very curved. Gave it that rounded look on the side. It was really interesting how they used the minifigure head minus any face and darker color here. Not that yellow you often see for the plant. I had not seen that before. So you know, bag 3 did the windows, and then 4 did the outside. And it looks like bag 5 coming up later today or tomorrow. Tux is sleeping out the master bedroom window underneath our weather station. So Don and I just came down from the house attic. We were looking for a monitor crane, you know, a computer monitor, a swing arm kind of thing. And we found it. It's from the 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really heavy duty. And while I was finding that, I also found this Battlestar Galactica lunchbox complete with thermos. Now, honest, I don't remember if I actually used this lunchbox in the 70s, which is totally possible because this is an authentic original one, not a reproduction. Or if sometime in my 20s or 30s I found it at an antique store and picked it up. I don't remember. I think I had, I want to say Holly Hobby maybe or something. I don't know. I just don't know. I was a big fan of Battlestar Galactica, always have been, but I don't know. This lunchbox is from 1978. That makes sense. And then Don and I both have Racetrack, the old school Racetrack. This was my all-time favorite Christmas present. My dad and I raced with those little yellow handles wired to the track. There's no remote, no wireless here. This is way too old school. This is probably from 75-ish, 76. And Here's my car set, although at one point, Donnie, can you pop the little thing on the cars for me? At one point, I gave some of my cars away to some boys that were friends of my dad's, a guy he worked with, his kids. But I used to call this my, I don't know why, my Evel Knievel race car, and this was the fastest one, and me and Dad, we would race, and you'd have to actually put a little oil in there, and there's wheels, spare wheels over here on the side. So this is like priceless to me. And Don has a setup there too. And we had talked at one point about when the Lego table, when we don't have it set up with the year's stuff, of having fun one day and setting up our racetrack and seeing if we could get it going again. So I look forward to doing that sometime. Probably won't be till the fall, but I love those cars. I'm sure Dad let me win, but you know I always won.
That's right.
My car was always the fastest car.
That's right.
I did have some Barbies, but they didn't rate in comparison. I liked my Barbies, but they did not rate in comparison to the cars.
Right.
That was a productive trip down memory lane since we found the monitor crane that we were looking for in the process. Way too hot to be up in that attic today, though. We were sweating after less than 5 minutes. Yeah, I moved Ruby out of the garage via a trip to the environmental park to spend the gym. So I've just been down here a few minutes and I'm headed back to the house now. It's 74 according to Ruby, and it's only supposed to get gustier today. Well, that is definitely a heavy-duty monitor crane. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
You had the monitor, your work monitor, the big Mama Jama one you had on this thing, or?
No, I never really used it. I got it back when I had back surgery, and my intent was to mount it. Oh, I don't remember.
So you could stand, well, you had to stand after your surgery at the desk for a while, right?
And there was some reason I needed, it's really for my laptop.
Sure.
The laptop with my intent. But the bottom line is, you gotta have a really strong
thing to mount it to.
And I didn't have, none of the furniture I have was suitable for mounting. So I never actually got to use it. If other than something like this, just to play with it.
Sure.
What I was trying to do is I couldn't remember. What I was trying to do is I was going to try to see if it could be used as a thing for the TV. But I guess not. The short answer is that that was why I wanted to find it, because Marion and I'd like to mount the television.
The old Sony.
The old Sony 46-inch here. And I was trying...
Here as in somewhere
garage,
here.
That's right. And I was trying to... I thought, oh, well, maybe this thing could give it some flexibility as far as where...
we put it.
Where we put it, that's right. And...
or you could angle it out to view it when you wanted to and push it back flat against the wall, I guess, when we weren't actively using it.
That's right. All of the above.
Yeah.
And I guess the short answer is it ain't gonna work. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it now. I guess we probably now, because we still don't have any furniture in the house that's strong enough. I mean, you'd have to have a good office desk or something like that. And I don't know, maybe leave it out here for Johnny to put his laptop on when he does his video chats. But I guess that's going to depend on if he's going to use the, I guess what for right now, it's not hurting anything. I'll probably move it over there. But I don't see us using it. And you know, if push comes to shove and I really somehow come up with a incredibly good use for it, I'll drill me a couple holes in here and I'll bolt it to the desk or bolt it down. Although I have to tell you that clamp is pretty strong.
Sure.
I mean, I just finger tighten it with my hand. I didn't try to grunt it, and it does pivot. I mean, that is pretty handy.
Yeah, well, you never can tell, especially if you get back into any kind of programming again, what we might decide to use it for. So I don't think I would want us to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think I paid like I don't remember. I think I paid like I mean, it wasn't cheap. And at the time, I thought, oh, well, this will be really good. I can swing my laptop out of the way, and then I can grab it and pull it out to me, that kind of stuff. But it just didn't work. And,
Sure.
So it ended up in the attic. I had surgery in like 1994. So we're talking really long time ago.
So this is the mount that we have for the TV, and Don was explaining that it really does allow you to move the TV a little bit side to side if you wanted to.
Right.
And also allows you to adjust the tilt on the TV.
Right. The TV is captured. This mount, you cannot get it off. You have to loosen this screw to quite a bit, so you can move the mount enough to free the mount from the wall mount. So as long as you correctly adjust this screw and keep this screw tight, then your TV isn't going to fall off the wall. You're not going to bump the bottom of the TV, unhook it from these hooks. It's not going to happen by accident if you correctly move this. So if you wanted to slide the TV right or left a foot, because these, I'm going to mount this on the walls are 16-inch centers. That light outlet there is on one side of.
Yeah, so we decided here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, we decided here. This would allow Don to be able to watch it from sitting at the workbench. Kind of like if you're in the kitchen cooking and you got a TV off to the side, that kind of watch.
Right.
And also would still allow for video gaming up here, possibly, in front of Ruby, without having to totally maybe move Ruby out of the way. So, yeah, we decided on this spot. Plus, it's safe with the ledge and everything. It's not in a spot where it would be likely to bump it or any of those other problems with it. So the other two places we looked at was over here on the wall beside where we get out of Ruby. That would be great central location if we were doing really active video gaming. But, it'd really probably be in our way, bumping at our shoulder, our head, so that wasn't going to work. And then the other spot was over here, which would have provided safety tucked in sort of beside the cabinet and plenty of room to move around for gaming. But Don couldn't see it from the workbench. So we're both pretty happy with this spot over here. I think it's big enough for moving around for the Wii Fit and also for Don to see it from the workbench. And it's a safe location. So I think we've checked off all three of the important boxes.
Right.
So we moved the TV out. It was stored beside the bunk beds in Johnny's room in a safe spot, out of the way spot, because he doesn't climb up the stairs to the top bunk too much anymore. And Don's mounting the brackets for the wall mount.
Right. Yeah, so I can measure top of the TV to the top of the mount and get a number of how far down the mount needs to be. And then I've got to, I think, I can take this faceplate off. I don't remember which side, but this outlet's going to be mounted on one side or the other of a stud. So I can just measure 16 inches over, from whichever side that is, and find where the studs are, and then I can mount the wall part of this.
Sure.
Like I said, it has a little room in theory. It's this way. It has a little room, so we can slide it all the way this way, or slide it all the way that way. This TV is not heavy. 25 pounds, 30 at the most, if it weighs that much. I think this mount's good for 150 pounds or more.
Right, it's good for old school TVs, and we have a new, yeah. Well, Don's got the mount on the TV and he is double, triple, quadruple checking his math. He even went to the effort to draw the measurements because the little ledge on the wall is high to his left but is lower here in front, and you know the green cord over here has to go into that plug on the at least on the bottom. So he's just how far from the ceiling and how far over for the, you know, he knows where the studs are now. So the stud is on the right or the left of the box? It's on the left. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, he's working on it. Complicated math.
Well, just keep it all together.
So it's up, and Don just slid it all the way to the left to demonstrate. Slide it a little bit to the right. Show us how he did that. Cannot come down. It is totally in those grooves. It's good. So
you can do it.
But depending on what you wanted to do with it.
Right. Like I don't know which way. Right now we'll just put it. That's about center right there.
Okay. Cool. We're gonna like it there.
Yeah.
So we are hooking stuff up to it now that we tested out the mount and it looked good. I added a little more project creep and told Don I wanted the Xbox 360 out here too, because I like the games with the Kinect motion sensor. Don and I, when we were early dating, we would play the little water game going down the river. It was a lot of fun. So I guess...
She smoked me. That's why she liked to play it so much.
Right. Well, I'm Miss Flexible and Don is not as flexible, so... Of course, I'm a little older now, so you've got more. I'll give you spot you a little bit, okay? Yeah.
She's a sweetie.
And Gray's in the chair. Tux was on the bottom platform, but I see his stomach needed some attention. Hey, buddy. I've been in and out like 5 or 6 times, and every time he's like, Mom, stop for the Tux, please. All right, the Kinect thing is working. I'm not really trying to play right now, but you get the gist. I'm going to be very excited to play. Way cool. We were trying to learn if the Kinect had to go above, and the answer is no, and it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to get out of here and let Don continue with the next step. Wow, it knows today's date's 4/29. How can that be? There's me and Don, and I don't know who this is. Who is that? Oh, your sister. Okay, there's Dawn. There's me. Well, I was in sync until I reached for the camera. Whoops, wrong foot. Been a while, like 5 years probably. I prided myself in 100% perfect steps. When you do it every day, that's not too hard to accomplish. I am stoked, Donnie.
She's the best.
You guys seen this thing before, right? That's what I'm stepping on. Oops. Whoops. I'm so excited! I'm excited.
Oh, she's going to be doing wheeze and river rafting.
I mean, like, Donnie, come on, let's go on the river. Don does not,
I'm not a video guy.
He doesn't have rhythm like I do.
Vehicles in one day, nobody. I mean, every car manufacturer together isn't trying to build 1,000 electric vehicles per day. And Tesla, you know.
Don's watching the earnings call, and he's on with Zeb, the president of our owners club and friend, just kind of chit-chatting. I am browning on the saute setting here in the Instant Pot, a chuck roast for dinner. I'm running a little late because it's already going on 7, but it is going to be yummy when it's done. Hey there, Donnie.
Hello.
You better after you had some guacamole and
had a little snack.
Yeah, had a little snack. I was on with our owners club talking about how we might handle virtual online orientations.
Yeah.
You know, we were showing up there to help with customer orientations in person. Right. We can't do that now. So that's why I was online. And then Don got on a little bit to talk earnings call stuff. Yeah. But bottom line, that means we didn't finish up out here today. All we did was get everything working. And, right. And so that's great. But we've got to decide now how we want to handle the stuff. Obviously, Don doesn't want it on his workbench. I don't want it on his workbench either. So we're just going to chat for a little bit and figure that out. And then tomorrow we'll be back out here and we'll do phase 2 of getting wires tucked and maybe a shelf installed and stuff like that. So I'm going to come out probably tomorrow morning and play on it a little bit and make sure that we're good to go. And then Don's got a piece of white melamine he's going to mount between the air conditioner and the TV with some shelf standards. And, you know, we can get the games on a actual legitimate shelf and he'll tidy up the wires. But we just want to make sure I've got the gameplay I want before we go ahead and drill more holes in the wall. Chuck roast and gravy.